What is a famous movie that you cannot understand the appeal of? Elaine. I don't think I can be with anyone who doesn't like The English Patient. The 50 Shades franchise. How the hell did it get 3 movies? The English Patient. I get why it's Oscar bait, but it's just so bland. Avatar. It's visually impressive. And that's about it. Aquaman. I have no idea how anyone thought that film was even remotely good. The Thorification of Aquaman, Arthur was so cringy and unnatural that it felt like a genuine Asylum Films type ripoff, and I thought the CGI looked awful. Also, Black Manta was totally justified in wanting to kill Aquaman. I did really like the trench monsters though. Avatar. The James Cameron one, not M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. The Notebook. I could only watch about 10 to 15 minutes and the main guy was just manipulative and toxic. Threatening the girl that he would jump off the Ferris wheel if she doesn't go on a date with him? Really shitty behavior. I don't understand how so many people think it's the best romance movie. Transformers. I know, I'm so brave for this controversial opinion. But, man, I will consume the heck out of cheesy sci-fi action junk. And I barely made it through the first one. It was the movie equivalent of having a yelling toddler banging on a pot with a spoon for 2 hours. The Force Awakens. It's almost an exact fucking copy of A New Hope. The same story beats, the same Mary Sue hero. Even the villain is the goddamn same. A menacing dude in a mask with a distorted voice with a personal link to the hero. This goes to all my fellow film enthusiasts. Eraserhead. IDC if the circumference of the baby's left leg represents the turmoil that Lynch faced as a kid or whatnot. But I don't see a single thing in that movie that people could like. But its popularity means I'm missing something. Skeptical smiley face. Eat, Pray, Love. It is so boring. Only movie I had to leave the theater for. It just kept dragging on. The Shape of Water 2017. The Revenant. Everyone raved about this movie. Turns out it was 2.5 hours of some guy not speaking and slowly dying. Any Will Ferrell movie. There was a phase in the internet where everyone praised him as the comedy king and I just found his comedy so forced. It's like a group of joke writers handed him a joke 30 seconds before having to deliver it to the camera. Joker. The film takes so much from Scorsese's work that it feels like watching someone do a ripoff of King of Comedy, combined with Taxi Driver. Joaquin's performance is the only good thing about the movie. The Blair Witch Project. Supposed to be very horror but I found it plain okay. Top Gun. I watched it after many years of been told to. It had moments but I never quite understood why it's so popular. Love Actually. I hated every character. Creepy stalker guy. Goofy PM. Gross kid who flies to America to get laid. And the sociopath kid whose mother just died and he's worried about a girl in school. The whole thing was just fucking gross. Although in every movie, Emma Thompson can do no wrong. She was the only redeeming part. The Revenant. The bear should have just killed him. Avatar. It's just a generic sci-fi action movie. Fucking 9 movies of Fast and the Furious. A Christmas Story. I just think it's dull. Unpopular opinion. The Notebook. A Clockwork Orange. A lot of people see it as a great work of art, but it is just a load of stylish-looking nudity, rape and general violence. Twilight. Donnie Darko is literally R.I.M. 14 and this is deep. Almost all Marvel, superhero movies. I mean they're not bad. They're just so, IDK, plain and immemorable. Seems to be a bunch of brain-dead special effects with brain-dead dialogue. They're alright, I just don't get the worship. Napoleon Dynamite is one of 3 movies I've just turned off, and have never finished. The Twilight Saga. King hate all actors and their performances. And the overall plot is so predictable and childish. Insidious and Conjuring universe. I don't get why people would love a horror so much when it's just based on jump scares. Also Conjuring is like a quilt built from other classic movie ideas. It's so derivative, and based on jump scares again, also them being super loud. No thank you. If you want to scare me, Please build actual suspense and make a good story. The whole Conjuring universe is trash, aside from maybe Annabelle Creation, which was at least genuinely interesting. The latest book adaptation movie series like Divergent, Maze Runner, Hunger Games, etc. They all feel like they have pretty much the same story between them. Wrote Hungry Games instead of Hunger Games. The entire Snyderverse. I'm probably just a lonely aromantic, but I've never understood why everyone likes Titanic so much. Avatar, Titanic, and Parasite. Just couldn't watch the movies to the end. Uncut Gems. Frozen. Generic as it gets. I wish we truly could just let it go. Irishman, and yes, I have seen it. So STFU with your, you have to see it like this. Like that. The movie could certainly be cut short. Felt as if pretentious creator drunk on power with no one to oppose his ideas made whatever the fuck he wanted to make. I love the last 20 to 25 minutes though. Does anyone even care about what the MCU is doing post-Endgame? Any Adam Sandler movie or dumb comedy for that matter. Do not find it funny in the least bit. The Disney film Frozen was super popular and I watched it and was kinda like, that's it. Just kinda canned, I guess. Nice characters though, and at least a good effort to respond to mental health issues and trauma. Marvel movies tend to just blend together with the same predictable humor. Harry Potter. My sister and father were a huge fans growing up. I never hopped on that train. Just don't get the appeal, but no hate. All the Avengers movies. I read a lot of fantasy novels and anything that has magic, superpowers as the storyline, but I just can't bring myself to like the Avengers movies. Star Wars. My family loves it and tried ramming it down my throat for so long that I despise it entirely. Every single Marvel movie. There are one or two exceptions, like Ragnarok, but generally speaking they're not well made, not well directed, not particularly well acted, and typically written so shittily it's almost impressive. They're good action movies, for people who have never actually seen a good action movie. They're stuffed with military propaganda. Like a lot of American movies, they receive funding and equipment from the military in exchange for letting them edit the script, manipulate how the military is portrayed. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/military-entertainment_complex. Really common in movies. It's why you almost never get an anti-war movie with a big budget and decent equipment anymore. I actually used to be a huge comic book fan and I was really into the first few movies. I was seriously hype about future prospects, but they've managed to release what is basically the same fucking movie about 20 times now and it gets eaten up with a spoon. I hate how it dominates pop culture. I hate the way people who would have happily bullied someone for liking comic books in school now get fucking weird with you if you say you don't like the MCU. I hate those movies. Also, after working in a cinema for nearly 2 years, Marvel fans are some of the most repugnant creatures in the history of gross customers. Worse than pretty much any of the other franchise fans by a good long mark. Every single screening of Endgame was cake and filth by the end of it. We had to deal with more complaints about physically disgusting customers, i.e. so fucking smelly people in a 3 to 4 seat radius would ask for refunds or to be moved screen, than any other movie. Full-grown adults would throw full-grown temper tantrums that they couldn't bully their way into sold-out showings to see the film for the 5th time in a week. For fucking Endgame. A movie so bad I physically cringed several times when I was forced to watch it. Sometimes we had to sit in the screens for health and safety reasons, depending on what type of showing it is. Shape of Water. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Boring. Poorly edited vanity BS. Pulp Fiction. It was first of 2 movies I've ever slept through. I don't get it. It's been explained to me multiple times and I still don't get it. Breakfast at Tiffany's. I regretted watching it immediately after it was over. Paranormal Activity. It's so boring. Nothing happens for most of the film, and the characters are obnoxious attention whores. Might get some hate for it, but the entire trilogy of Star Wars trilogies. Mostly all of them are fine movies, excluding Skywalker, but I can't understand the crazy hype and fandom for the series as a whole. It's space wizards fighting space Nazis, who are led by a space wizard. Fun and enjoyable? Yes. Transcendent and the most amazing story, setting, characters in history. Nah. Moulin Rouge. I had to turn it off a few minutes in. It gave me a headache. Mulholland Drive. To be mystified is not to be edified. It's a Wonderful Life. It's played so much during Christmas every year and I can't even finish it in one sitting. Honestly, Star Wars movies. Please don't hate me. The Godfather. I tried to watch it but just couldn't get into it. One of the very few movies I couldn't finish. A Star is Born. The Fast and the Furious. To be honest, most of the Marvel movies. I never got sucked in. And I like superhero stuff. Everything by Nicholas Winding Refn. Every time I watch something by him I just end up asking, what was the point? The Fast and Furious series. It's just so damn mindless. The acting is horrible and it's barely entertaining. I never get how it makes the money it does or draws the insanely talented actors that have been in these terrible movies. Coco. I get why people like it. But I do not at all. Commenting on behalf of a friend. There Will Be Blood. I recommended it and sang its praises so she watched it. That was maybe 10 years ago and she still brings it up when she wants to shame me for wasting her time. Lol. I did not care for The Godfather. Inception. The initial part is cool, but I don't really enjoy all the rest. Spirited Away. I thought it was an entertaining movie, not God's gift to mankind. The Wolf of Wall Street. I've never liked Twilight, or any of the sequels. The story makes no sense to me and the movies completely ignore every single mythological notion of vampires and werewolves. Interstellar. Love the music, but the movie doesn't make any sense and the characters were boring. I went to see it with my fellow space geek friends and we were all disappointed. It was sold to us like this hyper-realistic sci-fi movie about wormholes and we got some blabberwally about hyperdimensional woo and ghosts. Any with constant explosions, bathroom, humor, absurd car chases, and stupid, cheesy, women. The Matrix. Neo. You're the one. Oh, shut up already. I feel like saying 50 Shades of Grey is kinda cheating. But I cannot grasp how there were that many horny middle-aged moms to make that series so much money. That film oozed shit, and the fact it's just a fan fiction of another shitty property irks me to this day. Thanks for watching. See you later.